Welcome to Get Fitness Success, where we learn about our body, mind, and spirit. This video does not replace expert medical advice. Ask a doctor if you have any questions. Please subscribe, like, and comment. I appreciate your support. In this video, we will learn about the differences between hypertrophy and strength training. Let's begin. Hypertrophy and strength training are independent concepts. Hypertrophy is the process of boosting muscle growth by increasing workout volume. Strengthening a muscle by lifting heavier weights is called strength training. Overall, hypertrophy relates to muscle size, whereas strength alludes to muscle power. The distinctions between hypertrophy and strength training will impact the programs and protocols you perform in the gym. Resistance training causes hypertrophy, a physiological process that increases muscle fiber diameter. Muscle growth is classified as sarcoplasmic or myofibril hypertrophy. Most people mean sarcoplasmic hypertrophy when they talk about hypertrophy training. It is the growth of muscle. Myofibril hypertrophy occurs when a muscle's myofibrils become thick and compact. In practice, the distinction isn't relevant because they often occur together. However, if you research this topic further, you'll probably surely come across these terms. Here are 4 benefits of hypertrophy exercise. Many of these benefits can be noticed in strength training, especially in beginners. Benefit 1. Muscle mass gain. Hypertrophy-based training promotes more muscle size and growth than heavier strength-based training. Benefit 2. It allows lifters to train for longer lengths of time, which has been demonstrated to be one of the most essential variables in muscle building. Benefit 3. Reduced injury risk. Weightlifting is part of weight training and carries some risk of injury. Conversely, hypertrophy training has a decreased risk of injury due to lighter weights and less chance of damage when training to failure. Benefit 4. Increased energy use. Boost output to boost energy expenditure. Alternatively, more effort equals more calories burned. Hypertrophy training is characterized by increased sets, repetitions, and overall volume, making it ideal for those looking to grow muscle while burning fat. That doesn't mean bigger strength-based workouts don't burn calories. Lifting lighter to moderate loads and doing more reps might result in increased work, which may increase calorie expenditure. It allows you to focus on engaging muscles, targeting lagging muscle groups, and correcting movement asymmetries. Achieving muscle symmetry. You'll be more equipped and less likely to damage yourself when it's time to lift heavier loads with hypertrophy training. Here are 2 possible drawbacks of hypertrophy training. Beginners can handle higher volumes simply because their max load is often lower than more advanced lifters. It may not be as effective as strength-specific training. According to research, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy does not necessarily translate into functional strength. To properly train hypertrophy before returning to a more strength-focused program, most advanced lifters would train the furthest away from a strength competition. The lifter can benefit from both programs by following a hypertrophy to strength program. Beware that insufficient recovery may cause overuse injuries. Training hypertrophy necessitates a higher volume of exercise, which may increase your need for recuperation, while additional sleep, food, and a better training regimen that tracks your progress and adjusts as needed will often ease this. It is something to keep in mind to better understand the differences between hypertrophy and strength training. We should first answer the question, what is strength? Strength is the ability to create maximum force from a muscle contraction. Hefty lifting and maxing out are classic techniques to show power. The central nervous system, force production rate, and neural fatigue all influence the ability to create maximal force. The CNS controls all movement and intensive training. This is your brain and spinal cord. You develop your nervous system to tolerate heavier loads without affecting your capacity to train hard. The more your nervous system is prepared for heavy loads, the less likely you are to pick anything up and immediately feel weary. This is one of the more specific benefits of strength training. Force output rate means faster force production, which helps move larger loads and be more explosive. You can enhance this by lifting heavier and faster loads. Nervous system fatigue occurs when the CNS is overworked due to excessive weight lifting, sets and reps, or overall overtraining. Neural exhaustion causes sluggishness, decreased performance and drive, and requires weeks of rest from strenuous exertion. Here are 2 benefits of strength training. Boosts peak strength and neural drive. Strength training improves the central nervous system's ability to send impulses to muscle fibers. These impulses can improve the force generation rate of a muscle fiber as well as the number of muscle fibers contracting simultaneously. These 2 factors will help move heavy loads. You can acquire or keep strength with less training. Heavy strength exercise can help you maintain strength since it stimulates the CNS. People think that if they eat less, they should stop lifting heavy. But they should keep lifting heavy since they cannot lose strength as quickly as they think. This is crucial for strength athletes wanting to shed weight. 2 potential drawbacks of high-volume strength training are poor recovery, incorrect form, or lack of deloading. Strength training causes more neural fatigue than hypertrophy. Neural fatigue occurs when you exercise too hard for too long. Although it is particularly common with high-volume, high-intensity strength programs, the rate of recuperation varies among individuals. Therefore, there are no clear guidelines on how much is too much. It occurs when lifters train too heavy for too long or too many reps. For example, back squats and deadlifts, 6 to 8 sets of 5 reps, with 85% or more loads. Every session, multiple times a week, for weeks, because the neurological system is more involved when heavier loads are lifted. It is more easily depleted. Overworking your nervous system takes far longer than taking a few days off training, and it can take weeks to fully recover. Advanced lifters or lifters with high outside stressors are more prone to neural fatigue. It may increase your risk of accident or overuse injury. Injuries can occur when lifting heavy weights and exercising hard. Independent of the training method, strength training, however, may increase injury and overuse concerns, especially when combined with inadequate recovery, high stress, and high-volume strength programs. Strength training has a lower training volume than hypertrophy. The number of total sets in hypertrophy and strength programs is similar. Strength programs have lower rep ranges than hypertrophy programs. Loads should be lighter for hypertrophy training. Train closer to fatigue for hypertrophy. Compound exercises build the strongest. Rest times for hypertrophy and strength can be extended. Strength training has a lower training volume than hypertrophy. One of the fundamental differences between hypertrophy and strength training is the total work volume accumulated during a session or program. A higher training volume is achieved with hypertrophy than with strength training since it allows for more sets and reps with less weight. This is not to say you can't train at higher frequencies with bigger weights, but it does increase the risk of overuse injury. The number of total sets in hypertrophy and strength programs is similar, due to the decreased amount of reps. A lifter will complete 2 to 5 sets of an activity in both hypertrophy and strength training programs. Total sets performed might vary dramatically depending on the program because reps and loading are occasionally varied significantly. This is a crucial contrast between hypertrophy and strength training. Strength programs have lower rep ranges than hypertrophy programs. Hypertrophy rep ranges may be extremely distinct from strength training rep ranges. Hypertrophy can occur at any rep range as long as the muscle is fatigued. Muscle growth is generally driven by training to fatigue and generating muscle burn, which can be done in 5 to 10, 10 to 20, or even 20 to 30 rep ranges. If the muscle is not exhausted after 25 to 30 reps, the weight is too light. When a lifter becomes tired before completing 5 reps, muscular injury occurs, but not enough overall training volume is attained for best results in hypertrophy. Most regimens prescribe 8 to 5 reps to failure or extremely close to failure. If you want to increase strength, your rep ranges will be between 1 to 5 reps each set because the loading is above 80% of your max. With more reps, you're undoubtedly growing muscle, but not using heavy enough loads to maximize strength improvements. Loads should be lighter for hypertrophy training. Training intensity refers to the weight of the load in relation to the lifter's maximum. Muscle hypertrophy happens between 30% and 80% of one's 1 rep max, whereas strength training occurs above 80% of one's 1 rep max, while lighter weights can result in significant increases in muscle growth and size. You must lift above 80% of max to elicit the neurological alterations that contribute to greater strength output. Train closer to fatigue for hypertrophy, because the weights are lighter and the failure is muscle rather than body. Hypertrophy training can often be done close to failure. It's all about local muscle failure to increase muscular size and growth. You risk overtraining and damage if you don't train to failure. Compound exercises build the strongest. The goal of hypertrophy exercise is to exhaust the muscle. Machines and single movements are frequently effective when training to failure. Train activities that allow you to lift heavier loads to increase your maximum strength. Exercises that involve more balance or coordination than compound exercises, or activities that do not allow you to load on as much weight, are ideal. It's much easier to load up 315 pounds on back squats than with kettlebell goblet squats. Those training for maximal strength should prioritize activities that keep them stable and allow them to lift more weight, while those training for hypertrophy and endurance may benefit from bodyweight training. Kettlebells and isolation exercises. Rest times for hypertrophy and strength can be extended, because hypertrophy programs load less than strength regimens. Rest periods may be shorter. Longer rest intervals for hypertrophy programs may help individuals to push harder and enhance muscular size. Hypertrophy training is essential for effective strength growth and injury prevention. Lifters who want to grow size and muscle mass rather than strength should focus on hypertrophy training. After a few months of hypertrophy training, you'll be ready to switch to a more strength-focused training plan. It can help strength athletes build more muscle, reduce stress and burden on the body, and recuperate from previous high-intensity exercise. This small shift in training intensity could contribute to long-term increases in strength. As previously said, strength and hypertrophy are key phases of training for all lifters. To train the neural system to handle higher weights, lifters must use larger loads. Strength-based lifters, on the other hand, should take a break from heavy lifting every few months and focus on hypertrophy to promote muscle growth and mending of the nervous system and connective tissues. Entering a strength training program is a great way to build muscle and strength so that when you return to more hypertrophy-based training, you can keep progressing. Beginners and intermediate lifters benefit from hypertrophy training, but advanced lifters should follow up with a strength-focused training phase after a hypertrophy period. Muscle hypertrophy training enhances muscle size. Muscle hypertrophy increases the size of muscle fibers and the volume of fluid pumped into the muscle to provide energy. You don't need to lift as much to get muscle. Aspects of hypertrophy training include muscle failure, with loads ranging from 5 to 30 reps. Experiment with 5 to 10 reps, 10 to 20 reps, and 20 to 30 reps to get the best muscle activation. If you've watched this far, please like and subscribe. Now, go get fit.